Hello everyone and welcome to SketchUp ARCHITECT's training course for beginners. In this course we will go over the basics of using SketchUp. Let's go ahead and open up our application. Here in our welcome screen we will want to choose a template in which to start our drawing. Go ahead and click on the arrow next to template. Here we will see we can choose between feet and inches or meters and several different styles as well. We want to work in feet and inches, so let's go ahead and click feet and inches and click start. When we first open up SketchUp, it will place us near the intersection point of our access lines. It will also place an architect in human scale in our workspace. Now let's go ahead and open up our large tool set by going to View and let's click on Toolbars. Click on Large Tool Set and hit Close. Here we can see we have our large tool set, and I can click and drag this wherever I want, or I can double click and it will dock it to whatever side I'm nearest to. So go ahead and double click. Now by default SketchUp places us in our select tool. Let's go ahead and go over this tool. Move your mouse over the architect and click once. When SketchUp highlights an object in blue like this, it means that that object is a group or a component. Now I can open up this group and component by double clicking on it. Now I can select by clicking once, and I can click on surfaces or lines within this group. Now to get out of this, let me just hit escape, and now we are out of that selection. Another way of deselecting is by clicking once to select and click once away, and you will deselect whatever you have selected at the moment. Now another way we can select is by clicking and dragging our mouse. So let's click once, hold it, and drag from left to right, and let's completely surround the object we want to select, and SketchUp will select that object. Again, click once to get out of that selection, and you can see that when we don't completely surround him, it will not select him. Now if we go from right to left, as long as we are touching the object or whatever it is, it will always select it. And once to click out of that. So that's a quick run through of selecting objects with our selection tool. Now let's go over our camera options in SketchUp. In our large tool set, you will see these 6 icons, which are our primary camera functions. Go ahead and click on the Orbit tool. Now pick a point on your drawing and left click and hold and drag your mouse. As you can see, SketchUp will try and orbit around the point you have selected. Go ahead and release. Now let's go to our Pan tool, left click. Now move to your drawing, left click once and drag your mouse, and you will see it will pan around the point you have selected. Now let's go to our Zoom tool. Let's click on that. Again, we will left click and drag our mouse up or down, and it will zoom in and out. Go ahead and let go of that button. Now zoom window will allow us to zoom in any window that we select. Let me zoom out. Zoom extents will zoom to the extent of our drawing. Just click that once. And zoom previous will zoom to the previous view or scene that we had. Now there is a much quicker way to pan and zoom around in SketchUp, and it can all be done using your mouse and some basic buttons on your keyboard. So let's go to our select tool, and we will go ahead and orbit without selecting our icon by pressing and holding our scroll button. Now go ahead and release that. Now let's move your scroll button forward and back, and that will allow us to zoom in and zoom out. Now go ahead and hold down your scroll button again, and at the same time press Shift. Now that takes us into our pan function, and we can pan our drawing around. Again, we pressed our scroll button once. That would take us into orbit, but now we're going to add Shift to that, and we can pan our drawing. So those are some very quick and useful tools to use and move around in SketchUp. Let's go over using our line tool. In the large tool set, click on the line icon. As we move our mouse over our origin point and axis lines, we can see that SketchUp will want to snap to these points. Let's click away from those. Click once and drag your mouse. And as we drag our mouse, we will see that whenever we are parallel with an axis, the line will turn the color of that axis. Here we see it's green, parallel with our green axis. Here we can see it's blue, and here red. So let's draw a line at 10 feet along our red axis. I'm going to go ahead and drag my mouse and type 10 feet on my keyboard and enter. Now as I drag my mouse, you can see that we are still in the line command. I'm going to drag my mouse along the green axis 20 feet and type enter. Now I'm going to, using inferencing, I'm going to hover my mouse over this endpoint and drag it, and as you can see, it's recognizing it's parallel with that green axis, and it automatically allows me to snap to that point. Now I'm going to drag my mouse again, and I'm going to close this set of lines. As you can see, once we've closed a set of lines, SketchUp will automatically create a surface. Now let's go ahead and draw another surface by starting on our endpoint and going vertical 10 feet. I'm going to drag my mouse again along my green axis, and there we see the inferencing. It's already recognizing this geometry and allowing me to snap to this point. So I'm going to snap there and snap down, and here I'm going to do that again. Go 10 feet up and 10 feet across, and one more time over here. Now if it doesn't recognize a previous geometry, we can simply hover over it for a little bit, don't click anything, and then just drag your mouse, and you see that it recognizes that point. Click once, and there we go again. We've enclosed that set of lines and one more here. So here we have created a rectangle in 3D, and let's go ahead and verify our measurements by selecting the measurement tool. So I'm going to click once here, hover over that endpoint, click once, and I'm going to drag my tape measure vertically up. As you can see, it turns blue because it's parallel with that, with the blue axis. So there we see it's 10 feet. Here it's 10 feet, and there's 20 feet. So I'm going to escape out of that. And also we can see whenever we type in dimensions, they should appear here, so we can verify what we are typing in, or if we have to correct something that we've typed, we can see that down here. So that's a quick run through of using the line tool.